Now here's a little weirdness. This system is going to allow me to boot from USBs, both UEFI and BIOS. It doesn't have a network card, incidentally. However, if I swap the USB into the second USB socket and restart the system, the USB is no longer visible. So the left one is fine. The one it's in now, USB 3, is not. So just bear that in mind when you're struggling to boot from a USB stick. Now here's Weirdness 2. You can see that on the master image the scan lasted 42 seconds and it scanned 38,000 files. The reason is I've excluded a lot of sort of directories that contain read-only material, so it's just really scanning the operating system. Now if we do a quick scan now, and we just leave it to run a bit, so you can see that it's now, I've left it going for 16 minutes and the clock is still counting up, and it's basically scanning Windows servicing, which are Windows update packages that really don't represent any threat. And we wanted to reduce this so that basically you can finish installing the system and ship it. And the last thing you want to do is to ship it to somebody who turns it on and spends 30 to 40 minutes with 100% busy and the system completely unusable. That's not really a good start. So, simplest thing to do is just exclude it from the scan by managing the settings in Windows Defender. I'm going to show you some gotchas. Now this one is after you start the image, the permissions are wrong and it's unable to access this file, but actually if you looked at File Manager you'd see that you can't access anything in the C drive either. So that's the wrong permissions on the mount directories in the Hyper-V machine. They must have the user's group, which is users, the administrator, the administrators group. If it doesn't, you get that. The next one I wanted to show you could not display the images available for installation. This happens if when you're doing the capture you don't give a proper name and description, for instance blanks, and therefore it can't display whatever was blank, so it can't display it. So make sure that when you're capturing the images you do get information in there correctly. And this one can't install the required files. This can happen during the append part of a capture. If the mount and unmount is too quick, well, it's actually the unmount and then the next mount of the core image is too quick, it fails, the append starts, but at that point the unmount finishes and the directory you're trying to append from is empty. So in fact if you look at the file that it produces, it's captured Pro fine, 41 megabytes, but the core one is 0 bytes, and if you're trying to install that you get that error message. Okay, trust if you get these you can know how to fix them.